Well, we are back at it, starting a new mural. I'm down in Harrison, Arkansas today. This is going to be a ice cream cookie boba shop, super cute. I love the aesthetics. I have done a mural for this client before up in Branson, so when they asked me to do one for their second location, I was like, of course. We're doing something pretty basic today. I can just put on my headphones, listen to a podcast, and whip up some colors. So I'm going to tape down the floor and get out my projector and laptop and get the doodle on the wall and start painting. This is the original terrazzo floor. So want to make sure that I do not get paint on it because it is so beautiful. You can't really tell from here, but it's so beautiful and it has a lot of character. So don't want to get paint on it. And I do have a drop cloth, but I always like to tape up against the wall because when I do make mistakes, they tend to be right here. They tend to drip right here by the wall. And a drop cloth is not always going to cover that. Now, I said that I wasn't gonna be doing any more murals this summer, but I think this one will only take me like 3 or 4 days. It's so cute. Let me show you around the shop. I love it so much. Okay, well, this is kind of annoying. I turned off all the lights, but it's still in the middle of the day and there's windows everywhere, so can't really see my outline perfectly. So I am gonna have to just look at my reference and guess where I've put things. And of course, I wanted to put in these freaking stars that have to look just right. Let's go all organic. No, absolutely not. I'm using my blue chalk because this wall is freshly primed. I could have used like a Posca marker or paint or whatever, but the nice thing is I can just erase the chalk and move my lines if I need to. So I'm gonna get this rough idea on the wall and then go back and tweak depending on how I like it. That needed more precise stuff. This would be a bit more of a challenge. I can't even see what I'm doing. I can't even see it. So it's 2:30 in the afternoon. Can't see what I'm doing. Instead of chalking it in perfectly, I'm just gonna start throwing some paint on it and getting some shapes. So let me just show you what it's gonna look like. So it's gonna be a selfie wall and there's gonna be like a little Boba Joe's logo here in the middle of the wall. A wall down here, I'm just probably gonna have to do my best to chalk it in. But look at how much color. Oh, so much color, I love it. I'm excited. I'm excited. And now all I have to do is mix up color and figure out what podcast I'm gonna listen to. I'm working late because I'm a painter. Here we go, trying to mix up the perfect pink background color. I don't know why some muralists go and they get like pre-mixed color from the hardware store. Like, why would you limit yourself like that? Anytime I have a color that's like even slightly off, I'm like, ugh, I'd rather just mix it myself. Get you some paints that you can mix your own colors, learn how to mix your own colors, because the paint samples from the hardware store, you know, you just never know. You just never know what they're gonna look like and you could hate the color. So why would you do that to yourself? Okay, wanna pause for a second to talk about brushes. Now, I do use these like cheap ass looks. Oh my God. It's fraying already. I think I've used this once and it's already fraying. Yikes. I do buy a bunch of these, what do you call them? Regular ass brushes from Lowe's, and they're fine. But the problem is I don't know if it's like the density or the type of bristles and the quality, but it's really hard to get a very crispy line. And so a lot of the time I would go in, fill it in, and then have to go back with like a much smaller brush to clean up the line. But I was at Blick up in Kansas City. Oh my God. I love the Blick store. Lead us not into temptation to spend all of our money. I have met a few artists that really spend good money on brushes. I know me. I know that in the past I have not been super great about cleaning my brushes. I leave them in the water overnight. It's not good. So I was like, you know what, Christine, you're 34 years old. You're an adult. Just clean your brushes. Grow up. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try the Blick brushes. These were like $17, $18 a piece. They're a lot. And this is maybe the 4th or 5th mural that I have used these. Look, they're like, they're already like super worn. I have no regrets about buying these brushes. I end up using these ones the most out of all of my brushes. I also got, they're the long handle blue ones. These are really nice too. I end up using the square, these like flat brushes the most out of all brushes. And these have also held up really nice. It's rare for me to find a brush that's like very thin. I like thin brushes that don't hold a lot of product. Oh my God, who am I, a beauty influencer? That don't hold a lot of paint, but you can get like a really crispy line. And look, this is another like very well worn brush and it's held up super good. So am I gonna regret spending like hundreds of dollars on brushes? No, it's so nice to be able to finish a mural, clean my brushes really good, put them back, and they're ready for the next mural. I typically, after every mural, I just so hard on my brushes that I have to go to Michael's and buy yet another cheap pack of brushes, and I don't want to do that. I would like to use my brushes for years and years and years. All right, let's get back at it. Today I have help. Hello.
Hello.
What is your name?
Audra.
What's your Instagram?
Oddart.inc. Yeah, there you go.
So Audra's gonna help me on this mural today, and how are you feeling about it?
A little nervous. I had too much coffee, so we're kind of nervous.
Well, we're gonna take all that energy and just paint the day away and blast some girly pop tunes, and yeah, maybe you'll learn something.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good time. Okay, so let's get started. So I would not call myself an abstract painter by any means, and I don't think this is abstract. I mean, it's like, what would I call it? Modern day American girly pop. Instagram worthy abstract. It's a little challenging, right? Where do you start? Where plugging in a few basic shapes embodies where we are. So like we have the circles, which could represent the boba. We have the little pill-shaped things, which could represent sprinkles on ice cream. Something that maybe reminds people of where they're at, but not like in such a literal sense. With my other random shapes, they could easily go subject matter that you're familiar with. So like this shape could look like Africa. This shape could look like Michigan. As I'm chalking it on the wall, trying to make sure that it doesn't look too much like something that people would be reminded of something. And not that that's a bad thing. Sometimes I think when people see something in the shapes, so like for example, yesterday Audra was working on this little shape right here and she was like, it looks like an egg, it looks like an oyster, I don't like it. And I'm like, right, but like, is that a bad thing? Is that a bad thing that it looks like an oyster? I don't think so. And so I used to be almost insulted when people would say, I see this in this shape. Okay. Even in this silly little mural for a commercial business, there is great conversation to be had about art. Another product that I highly, highly, highly recommend to muralists, anyone that like really cares about their health and their stamina for working long hours, electrolytes, but not a Gatorade. Hey, not a Gatorade. Gross. So Element makes electrolyte packets that I put in my water almost every day. I drink 3 of them, which is a lot, but I sweat a lot. I have hyperhidrosis in my hands and my feet. I sweat a ton, and I use a sauna blanket whenever I can. And these are really fun because it feels like, ooh, I'm having a little treat while I'm working, but there's no sugar and it's just all minerals and salt, and it tastes freaking amazing. Am I done? How do I know when I'm done? It looks so good. This is gonna be so cute. I can't wait to come back when they're open. See it all done. Aww. And like at the end of the day, once the neon sign is installed and people are gonna come over here and take a quick selfie with their boba or ice cream or whatever, they're not gonna notice my mistakes. But it's so hard as an artist to know when you're done and when you've put the right amount of hours into something. And Even though I charge by the square foot or I do a flat rate, I always track my hours to make sure that I'm getting paid X amount of dollars per hour so that it's worth my time and I can check in with myself and know that I'm charging the right amount for a mural. So there's a lot of edges that I could go back and clean up and make really crispy, but I'm kind of liking this more loose painterly kind of vibe. Trying to wrap up. At this point, I'm just kind of checking to make sure I've erased all of the chalk lines, I've cleaned up the edges of things that I think stand out the most. Now I packed up everything and then noticed a drip, and since I don't have any more of this peach color mixed up, I'm not gonna get everything out of the car. We're just gonna do another yellow stripe. Here we go. All right, I'm done. I never remember to film a clip before I start, but I did this time, and I'm gonna make a silly little TikTok. I don't know why, I don't enjoy it, but sometimes they're like, ooh, they're fun and they're silly. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was short, simple, sweet, but I think it's more important for me to put out more videos that are shorter, more fun, not so intense. Hey, Christine, you don't need to be so intense all the time. Oh, I know. Stop, leave me alone. Please subscribe, comment, like, do all that fun stuff. Bye.